Mesechta Zevachim, that pay Amud Aleph. We're starting from where it says Gemara, and we're going to start now from the Gemara Amud Ablaza. Says the Gemara Amud Ablaza. Rabbi Elazar had said Lo Hichshe Rabbi Eliezer from Gemara on that pay Amud Aleph, where it says Gemara. Yeah, we've finished the Mishnah yesterday. So Amud Rabbi Elazar had said Lo Hichshe Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Elazar wasn't mashit to throw the koises of dam that were left over b'tarubis aloshnayim mishnayim. The marshal, we said, if he put a kois of dam on the mizbeach, he sprayed it already. Oh, we said, oh, that was the one for the mum, and the rest. So we could be telling the mum, and the rest is good. But he says the rest is only good if you bring them in pairs, because you can't be toilet that the one that you sprayed, the first tarubis, was the mum. That's not enough of a svara. You need also a migul. So when you take two at a time, you have a migul. One is for sure good. So migul, this one is good, the other one's good. It could be this has the mum, so we'll say, we'll use now, we'll be Taylor, that's the one that was thrown on the mizbeach. Says the Gemara, but if it be one at a time, it won't be good. Like we said, the same Gemara repeating like cut and paste. But here we're talking about koises of dam, and before we were talking about evorim, limbs. Even if it was makiv, all of them, chutz me'achad, the Chacham say, even if only one wasn't, yishach lama, then you pour all the blood into the amma. That means that even if there was only one kois left, and Rabbi Elazar argues on that. That means Rabbi Elazar says even by one kois it will be good. And we said that Rabbi Elazar says you need two. I'll answer you. I'll explain to you. My echad. What does the word echad mean? Zug echad, one pair, not one stool. Like exactly like the mother said before. By the evarim. Says the Gemara. So why do I need two cases identical, side cases of dam and side the evarim? Says the Gemara. I need both cases. If we would have only said the machlekes of the previous Mishnah by evarim that got mixed up, the evarim of a carbon that got mixed up with evarim from the Balmum, I would say, how come Rabbi Elazar? Over here, Rabbi Elazar says you can be makiv the rest of the evarim. Why? Mishum dishavid by kaparasa, because the kapara is the dam, and the dam there was no problem with. It was only with the evarim that was mixed. So I would say, there you could be makiv the rest of the evarim. But when you're talking about the case of dam, well, now the ike kapara is a kilkul because maybe it's the mumdika water of blood. I would say in such a case that Rabbi Elazar will be made to the Chacham. You shouldn't spray the cases. It shouldn't be good. And if we'd only say the machlekes of this Mishnah by dam, that there was a mixture of cases of dam that was mixed, I'd say, the Chacham say, don't spray the cases because it could be it's mekulkul. But in the previous Mishnah where we're talking about the evarim, we'll say the Abanu Abayda to Rabbi Elazar, you're allowed. That's why I need both cases. Okay, now the Gemara goes back. The evarim of a carbon, the tamim that got mixed up with evarim of a carbon mum. And here is a dam of a good carbon that got mixed up with dam funamum. Okay, so now we said before, we learned now Mishnah, and those carbonis that the blood had to be sprayed lamata, and they were sprayed lamaila, right? Rabbi Elazar says you took chatas and oila. Very good. Chatas is lamaila mechotasika. The oila got mixed up with oila, which is the blood is lamata mechotasika. Only oila is ha'if. Okay. So what happens over here? So we say, hey, no problem. If you put it lamaila, so we say that it's a good chatas. There was leftover blood, so we say, the leftover blood is like water. And whatever we poured down lamata, we said, that's a remnants of the chatas. We'll go to that anyway. It's not hasam. Says Gemara, There's a din. Let me just tell you by Parah Aduma, how does it work? You burn the Parah, you have the ashes, and the ashes you put in Mayim Chaim, in live water. What if a little bit this water got mixed up with Nishke Mayim Chaim, Lebedike Wasser, Mayim Shuva, that Saiz Geschäfte Wasser is Mayim Psulim, into the Mayim Chaim, what's going to be the halacha? So you have a machlekes. Rabbi Elazar says, okay, here we go. Sloichis, let me say it inside. Sloichis, a kli, in which they had the Eifa, the Mayim, the Eifa, which was Mayim Chaim, Shenaf L'Seicha Mayim Kolshu, Mayim, other waters which are not kosher l'azar got mixed with it.
I can't say bottle.
We won't say that. 1 second.
What is that double kosher?
So it means b'mina? You can't
It has no. There's sometimes you say min b'mina. Here it's going to be different. Rabbi Elazar says yaza shtei zois. You have to spray 2 times in order to be sure that you got the hazah of the mei efer. Racham said poislan. The whole thing is no good. You have to spill out. And now we're going to explain in many ways what Rabbi Elazar holds and one way the Rabbanan. Bishlem Rabbanan says, I understand why the Rabbanan said the whole me'achatas is sufficed. It's no good. Why? Sabri yesh bila. What does it mean? They hold yesh bila means when water gets mixed up with water or anything got mixed up with other, every piece has both. Has the kosher water, the bad water, the kosher water, bad water. Okay, so now
a real challenge is.
A real challenge, yeah. So Zay good.
More than a challenge.
V'hazah tzich, and they hold the hazah has to have the shir hazah. Shir hazah it depends. It has to go on both sides. Depends which carbon it is. Some kabbanis you have to hit on the corner, and it has to be enough blood to splatter on both walls. Okay, hazah needs a shir, and a mitzvah from the hazois, and you cannot combine 2 hazois together. So that's why the Chacham say you got to throw it in the garbage. What happened?
What do you say?
He says, what did the Rabbi Elazar say? Spray twice. Between the 2, you'll have the shear of Hazah.
That would be enough, isn't it?
But the Chachamim say, listen, Hazah needs a shear. Spraying twice won't help.
It would be enough.
Because you can't combine it. It's 2 separate. So since you can't combine it, right, and you already diminished the shear, you need a shear for Hazah. And the shear for Hazah was diminished because it's deducted by the water in each piece, in each spray. So you don't have the full, you have to come up to 2 hazahs.
Because we don't know where that water is. It could be
The water, it is there. Every piece has water deducting from the down. From the May Potter.
Well, let's say you need so much, but even a little, he says even a little drop.
You have to split it.
Drop is all over.
It's all over, so it's missing in the Shir Hazah. So you have to come to 2 hazahs. But 2 hazahs say them it's starfish.
In other words, it's affecting every hazah.
Every hazah, so but together in combination we'll have the Shir Hazah. But we say, hey, there's no combination according to the Chachamim. You're not been started. Ella Rabbi Elazar says. So I understand why the Chachamim say you have to throw it out. Ella Rabbi Elazar that holds hazah. 1 hazah is not enough. You have to spray twice. My kasava, what does he hold? If he holds ein bila, that in every drop there's no mixture, right? So it says this that he sprays 2 hazahs, what chilik does it make? Maybe he's both of them. It's all water, which is pasla water. It's not from the May Potter.
Even the drop, he says, even the drop, right?
Every drop is not mixed with the other drop. So it could happen that you took 2 drops that you sprayed, had nothing to do with May Potter.
No, it does, but it doesn't have to share, you mean? I mean, it's the drop.
Forget about it. There's no
How much do you have to spray?
enough to spray on both walls. That when you spray it should splatter on both walls. Yeah, but he says it could be. There was nothing. It was all water. It doesn't mix. It doesn't mix.
He was all water. How much water fell in? He's not
He says. Okay, so here he's learning there was water that fell in enough to make hazos also. So we don't know. Maybe all of that water that he picked it was all mayim shulim. Maybe it's pashta vasa and it's not the me'apara. Elakasava, you have to say he for sure holds yesh bila, that every drop has part of me'para in it.
Bila like
So
swallows, right?
bila means a mixture.
Oh,
A mixture.
oh, it's a mixture.
Every drop has a mixture of mei potter together with the mayim shuvim. So now when you spray, yeah, you're getting a little bit of mayim shuvim, but you're also getting mei potter. Two azois together will make the shear. Now it says the Gemara eat kasava ein azot tzich shear. If he said,
No, this is okay.
if he says, oh, if he holds that azot doesn't need a shear, lama li shtei azois. What do I need two azois? If you don't need if you shear, even a dropping care should be good. So Ella, you're gonna have to say kasava azot tzich shear. That hazor does need a shear. Right, because if it doesn't need a shear, well, what do you have to? Why does that blessing say Yaza shtei azois? What's Yaza shtei azois? Why does he have to spray twice if one dropping care is good? One drop is good. And if he holds that you can combine two azois to make it to the shear, what does it help spraying two azois? What's the tell us? If you can't be mitzvah, it's not going to be nami mitzvah from azois. And even if you can say you do combine two azois, and that's why you'll have the shear k'dei azah. But the Milale Shir, who says in the two azois he filled up the shear? Maybe
3 times you have to do it.
Maybe 3, maybe 10 times. Maybe you need to do a lot because most of it is not going to be the Mei Potter. You don't know. So now he's going to give you 3 ways to explain Rebbe Lezer. Amen Eish Lakish. La'olam yesh bila. In Emerson, every drop has a mixture of Mei Potter with the Mayim Shuvim. And Hazor tzich shear. And Hazor needs a specific shear. So if Hazor needs a shear, and that's why one is not enough, and you say yesh bila, that means there's missing in the drops because some of it is not Mei Potter. So that's why you're saying 2 azois will help. Who says 2 azois is enough? Maybe you need more. Well, my skin over here, it's talking about you're going to arvu achas be'achas. You don't need more. There was the exact same amount. Meaning the shir k'dei azah was from meichatas, with shir k'dei azah of mayim psulim. They had to die that.
So you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have, so if you do 2 hazois, you for sure have, and you say mitzvah, you for sure everything is taken care of. You have the full share of azah of meichatas.
So what did he say before when he started the Brisa or the Mishnah? It says, "Ran hasem slucha shenaflu l'toich hamayim kol shehu."
Oh, so here he's.
Here you're saying, oh, it's half and half. Before he said it's kol
Kosher,
shehu.
that's very good. So that's why Ravashi will learn exactly like you just said. We'll get to that. But the Rava says, "La'olam in Emerson Rebbe Lezer holds yesh bila." Yesh bila means that there is a mixture, and every drop, a little bit of mayim psulim together with the meichatas, which is kosher. But hazah ain't tzich and the hazah doesn't need a shear. A drop is enough, even though some before Reish Lakish says hazah tzich shear. So he says since hazah tzich shear,
What kind of shear?
enough to spray it. Let's say you spray once on the corner, it has to be all meichatas, enough of meichatas to go on both sides. Or on the person. I'm sorry, the person. We're talking about now the person. Being spraying on a person that he should become tired, to be tired.
So where you spray on his whole body? Where do you spray?
It says you spray on him. I don't remember what, but I'm saying, yeah, there has to be a certain share.
In other words, it should be
Enough.
looks like something.
Yeah.
Not just a drop.
He doesn't say what the share is. I never saw it.
A good shpag.
Maybe it has to be tefech amanas latviach, good that it's wet enough to do something other. But I don't know if he doesn't bring down here what the shear means. Anyway, Bekitze, if you hear, so Reish Lakish said you do need a shear. So if you do need a shear, so we said, and he holds that it's mitzdaref, right? But who cares if it's mitzdaref? Maybe you need much more than 2 because the first 2 could be less than the shear. maybe to make up for mechatas that you have the full shear, maybe you have to have 3, 4, 5 times that it should be mitzvah. So he says it's not a problem. Here we're talking about his mamish half and half. If you do 2 sprays, you had enough for 2 sprays. You sprayed once and you sprayed a second time, you're covered for sure. You have all the mechatas in the shear. That was a shlakish. Rava said, really, Azor doesn't need a shear. And every yesh bila, meaning every trap has a little bit of mechatas. So if you have a drop mechatas, so yeah, but if it has mechatas, it's good enough. 1 drop is enough. So why does he say? Right. So if the Hazal doesn't need a shear and ain't dropping cares enough, so why do you have to spray twice? 1 time should be enough. So the Gemara knas the concern abonim. The abonim you give knas. What was the knas? That this is given it was so special to have the May Potter. It's very hard to get the Potter Aduma, the ashes of Potter Aduma. So they wanted to add water, so it'll be more. We'll have for longer. So the Chacham say, you're playing games. You're making tricks and adding water. Okay, you're gonna have to spray for that water you add. You're gonna spray now twice to get rid of the extra water you put in. In order not to be to benefit by putting in water and making it more of May Para, so the Chacham made a knas. He says if you mix them May Para, 1, even though a drop is good enough, we're going to make you do 2 azois in order not to benefit.
How much water are they going to use?
No, if it's too much water, Rav is explaining in Rabbi Lezer why he says Yaza Shtei Piyam. That's Rav's opinion. It's a knas. Sure, yeah, but you wouldn't add too much. You don't want to. If you dilute it, it's nothing. You want to have the meipada, but you made a shtick. You added a little bit, another trap to have a little bit more for the next. Avashi says, he says, what are you talking about? Hazar doesn't need a shear. How much got mixed up from the Mayim Psulim? Only Mayim Kolshu now. We learned in the Mishnah Befedish. It was only a Mayim Kolshu. And the Ein Bila, and he says there's no Bila means there's no mixed. It's not mixed. So Yaza Shtei Yazois says do 2 because you spray 1, and let's say in the first one was that kolduhu of the pasaldika water. So the second one is for sure all from the made potter. Because Ein Bila, and you're worried that, maybe one is the spray was only the bad one. He says, for sure by the second spray you're taken care of. Because there was only a koldahu of Mayim Psulim. Meisei. Yeah. Meisei, in fact, the Yimara Akasha on the beer of Reish Lakish. What did Reish Lakish say? Reish Lakish says, Yesh Bila, and Hazar Tzich Shir. And here we're talking about it was half and half. Okay? That's what Reish Lakish says.
So he's Magia Hesed the Mishnah? The Mishnah said
Yeah, he is. It seems like it, yeah. So we're asking on the B of Reish Lakish. Rabbi had said in the sheet of Rabbi Lezer that he says that Tarubis of Me'achatas is going to be kosher through doing 2 hazois. Hazor kolshu mitaheres. He says even a drop, hazar kolshu, even a drop of a hazar is matar the person for tumas hames. Since hazar ain't zichashir, because hazar does not need a shir, but hazar mechzer kosher, mechzer pasul, even the hazar which has half, which is kosher, half is going to be good. So is a kasher. Right. And he says, so what do we see from here? That according to Rabbi Lezer, Hazar doesn't need a shear. He says, even like you just said, a kol shu. He says, Hazar ain't tzich a shear, even Hazar kol shu is metaheres. Is a kasher, Rabbi Lezer says, Hazar tzich a shiur. It needs to have a shear.
Why do you need 2 hazars?
That's not what he's asking. He's asking, you concluded that Reish Lakish in this beer of Rabbi Lezer that Hazar needs a shear. We have Rabbi Zatana. Rabbi said that the sheet of Rabbi Lezer is that even a kol shu is matar. So from Rabbi it's mashma Not like Rish Lakish. Sagt the Gemara. And now the Gemara is on the sheet of Ravashi. So that's a kasha on Rish Lakish. Now we're going to go to Ravashi sheet. You remember what Ravashi said? Ravashi learns that it was only a mayim kolduhu that was mixed, like the lotion of the Mishnah. It was only a drop of puzzle of water. Ein bila. It doesn't get mixed. So we say you do two azos. One is going to for sure take care of it because the puzzle of one was a drop. So you did one zika, and then maybe that was the one that's puzzle. The second zika is good. Now, he learns in Rabbi Lezer, Ein bila. It's not mixed together. Says, in fact, we learned in the Braisa, the dam of Kabonis. This is similar to our Mishnah that we just learned. Hanitonin lemaila, the dam of a korban chatas, which is the blood is supposed to be sprayed above the chotasika. Shenis arvu behanitonin lemata. It got mixed up with a behemoth's oila, where the blood has to go lamata. Rabbi Eliezer, look, it's Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer says, Yite, Lamaila, the Kohen takes the dam, and the taruvas of the dam of the oil and the chatas, and he sprays it, Lamaila mechutasika. We said the chatas comes before oil because the chatas forgives even on chiyuvei kares. It's very powerful, so it comes first. So he sprays all the blood Lamaila, not all, but the blood.
That's all for the chatas.
That's for the chatas. In it there's oila also in it.
The same blood.
In the same blood. So he says, so I look at the water, at the blood of the oila that was mixed with that blood that he put l'mayla v'chotasika. That blood that belonged to the oila is water. Is vasa.
So we only have meichatas.
We only have mechatas. Dam chatas.
And then you don't have to spray with the force with the oil.
For the oila, we'll soon say,
What does he do?
it says, but what do you do with the rest of the blood? He says that the rest of blood, you spray below the chutasika. And we say this tachtonim helps, but what does it help? In fact, if you're going to say ein bila, it sounds like it helped for the oila. But if you're going to say,
If we said that if you spread the blood, it's like water from the oil.
right,
So if you have to spray
it's not water from the oila, it's water.
it's water. But he still has to spray the blood from the oil.
Oila, so he sprays the tachtonim.
So
The other blood is left over.
it's still water. It's not blood, right?
No, but there's left over. There's leftover blood.
That went on top of
Only
it.
all the blood he put on the top.
Water, but
Yeah,
the still
but now
blood.
he has blood in the keli. He's going to take out more and put it on the
So
bottom.
this is called blood.
Blood, yes. So now we got a problem. He says, if you say ein bila, that the bloods are not mixed together, you say it's separate. Amay alalai. Why did it help the zika sadam lamaila? Maybe that dam that went lamaila belongs. Oila, very good. Belongs labata. Dilma kayahiv el yoinim. Maybe he took from the chatas. Maybe the elyonim he put lamata under the chotasika. V'hatachtoinim, the oila is the one that went lamaila. So it should be all bad news. So it shouldn't work. It shouldn't work at all. Here it's talking about in the Braisa that you're going the ikaru el yoinim. He took most of the blood. Let's say chatzi blood is oila and chatzi blood is a
We
chatas.
don't know how much is it.
No, it is half and half. He took blood from two behemoths, and then he mixed it. Right? It got mixed. So no. So then he goes in the mixture, and he takes out more than half. So if you take out more than half, then you for sure have some oilans, a little bit of a chatas, or a little bit of oila. But for sure you have from both.
Right.
So when he sprays it lemaila, he for sure had a chatas in it, because he didn't take just half. He took roiv. He put a lemaila,
The oil,
and the rest of the blood will be
The
water.
dam oil was water.
Right, on the top.
What about the bottom?
The kayav lemaila shir tachtonim v'eid. And he gave lemaila. He had the shir of the tachtonim. For the oil he had in that blood that he sprayed lemaila. But v'eid, he took more than half. So he had for the chatas. But that's good for the chatas. So now you're left with a miyut on the bottom. But you said the tachtonim, the oil went good for him also. How could it have gone good? There it's not the Rav, there it's the Miyut. How could it help?
Maybe that's all.
Maybe it's all of the chatas that belongs lamaila and is in the 40%, and you put it lamata. It shouldn't be good. How do you say it's good? Says Yemara, no, ela l'shem shirayim. It means for sure it's not going to be good for the oila. It means that it's going to be considered the shirayim from the chatas, which you the din is, what do you do with shirayim? You spill it in the yisod. That's what it means. That's the pshat.
So, but then he didn't spend any dam at all.
For the oila, nothing for the oila. Everything for the chatas, and the rest is shirayim for the chatas. And the oila, you're not yotza. So now you're going to have to do another oila, but not two. Another carbon, but not a chatas.
Why are
Toshma,
we more concerned about the chatas than the oil?
because the chatas comes before oila. We said the chatas forgives even on
So
kares.
the Eibishter loses out on this deal.
You'll bring another carbon, you'll replace it.
But
Toshma. Okay. Toshma, a GoFundMe.
We'll bring a fish.
Okay, we'll open a GoFundMe. Toshma, Hemsh Chabraisa says, Nosan, if the Kohen had taken from the Damat Ruvis Lemata, Veloy Nimlach. He didn't ask the Rav what he should do. He did on his own. He took from the Damat Ruvis and he put it Lemata Mechut HaSikra. Rabbi Lazaim, Yachzav Yitain, Lemaila, that he should then, from the rest of the blood, take it and spray it Lemaila Mechut HaSikra.
Right?
We'll soon talk about it. 1 second. And the side the chata, side the oila are kosher, right?
Why is it bottom good?
Huh? That's what he says. So you said both are going to be kosher. Okay, so what do we see? We see for Beferish he has to hold sheish bila, because if ein bila, then who says the blood that he sprayed on the top was from the chatas? Maybe it was from the oila. And who says the blood that he made from the lamata? Well, who says the lamata mechut hasika was from the oila? Maybe it was from the chatas. Says
Well,
Gemara.
then it's okay. Yeah, if you did,
No,
why
chatas
would
has
it
to be
go-
lamaila, and he put the dam of the chatas lamata. It's not going to be good. Says the Gemara la'olam really lamata lamaila mechut hasika, and he put it lamata. It could be he put it lamata. After the Gemara la'olam, Rabbi Lezer holds ein bila, that it doesn't get mixed. The bloods do not get mixed. Hachanami, if it doesn't get mixed, so none of them should be good. Let us be afraid that blood of the chatas was lamat mechut hasika, and the blood it's exact same color, but we don't know which one is what.
Sometimes it's a little different,
No, same
Why
color.
says- why do you say your blood is more red than my red blood?
Okay.
Expression.
So really, we're saying ein bila. There's no mixture. So the chayda, none of them should be good. So he says, here also we're talking about what happened. He took more than 50% of the blood and he sprayed it lamaila. V'kayav lamaila. And shir tachtoinim be'oid. He took not only a shir for the tachtoinim from the oila, but he took more than the oila. He took be'oid more. So when he sprayed the lamaila, for sure he had some of the chatas. In fact, we said that it helped also for the oila. So what are you going to answer for that? So he says, no, it wasn't for the oila. L'shem shirayim. It went l'shem shirayim. How could you call it shirayim? He first put lamata. And then he put lamaila. And you want to say the lamata that he placed was shirayim. How could the shirayim come before the carbon? So the Rashi
How
answers,
could you give Shirayim if you didn't
have
the main thing?
the main right. So he says, "Ma'ila lemafreya nesina shalamata l'shem shvicha shirayim." It says it works retroactively. We're going to say this that he did first really works for after. Okay. Zag Yimad Toshma coming here. You could have Makasha Anavashi again, who says Ein Bila. And he told me Matana Achas and so we told him Matana Achas. We said a b'cheir and a maisa, or two kabanis. Only b'cheir and maisa, which only you spray one time. Those two got mixed up. So it says Yinosnu b'matana achas. You give only one matana because in each in each matana, you have both karbanis. So you don't have to do once for the bechayr and once for the maisa. When you do one time, you have the bechayr and the maisa mixed in it.
Because we're mixed.
It's mixed. Now the amarta ein bila, but if you're going to say they do not mix the bloods, so that means bechayr and maisa are not mixed. So how could one matana help for both karbanis if you don't consider them the mixed? Dilma mahai kayov mahai loy kayov. Maybe he's only giving the blood of the bechayr, but he wasn't yotzer for the maisa. Or maybe he gave only the blood for the maisa, but not for the korban maisa, not for the korban bechayr. So I'm thinking about like going shenas arvu achas ba'achas. It's talking about that matana, each there was a full matanas that got mixed up. And what does it mean? You nastam matana achas, meaning you give a matana achas for each carbon, not for one spray for both karbanes. According to Rabbi Lezer and Ravashi, the ein bila, and you're going to have to give. What does it mean matana achas for each one, for the chay one and for maisa one? Then the Mishnah said, in fact, the Yemana, but it says right in the Mishnah, matan abba b'matan abba. What if a shlomim and a toida got mixed up, which they're both four corners? So what are you going to do? There it says that you spray one time four, and it's yotzer for both karbanes. So l'chayda, but if you hold ein bila, it's not mixed. How can it help for both karbanes? One matana, meaning four matanas is good for one carbon, but you need for the other carbon. It's not mixed. We don't consider it mixed. I'm thinking about hachanami shenes avu arba be'aba. There was the shear of arba, a shear of blood that could go to all four sides, that mixed with another shear that could go to all four sides. And when it says yinasnu arba, it means you do it for each one. For side for the shlamim and side for the toida. Like two separate times, like we explained by the bechayr maisa. We'll stop here.